15 quite bizarre facts. We have put together this special list of factlets drawn from the deep recesses of history and society. Please mention your own favorites in the comments. 1. Pareidolia, pictured above, is a phenomenon in which people perceive shapes or hear sounds as significant when they are not, and may not exist at all. Playing records backwards is the most common way to hear phrases. It is also commonly the cause of so-called miracles where religious figures appear on toast, in clouds, or on everyday objects. 2. The word gleeking is used to describe the ejection of saliva from beneath the tongue, either accidentally, when yawning, for example, or deliberately. Forcefully forcing saliva from the glands requires practice. Wikipedia states that gleeking can be caused by pressing the underside of the tongue against the palate, then pushing the tongue forward while closing the lower jaw and moving it slightly forward. Despite practice, I always fail at this. If anyone succeeds, please let us know. 3. Hawaiian has only 12 letters, and the apostrophe symbol for the glottal stop in words such as Hawaii, which is called the okina. 4. Irrespective of whether you believe it or not, it is possible to accidentally plagiarize something. In cryptomnesia, a person believes they have come up with a new idea when in reality they are just remembering someone else's. There are even times when this occurs in literature. Friedrich Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra includes almost word for word a description of an incident that was found in a book published in 1835, half a century before Nietzsche. This is not considered to be intentional plagiarism or a coincidence. Nietzsche's sister confirmed that he had read the original account at the age of 11. 5. Clinical lycanthropy is a very rare psychological disorder in which a person believes he or she has been transformed into an animal. This can result in hallucinations and the person mimicking the actions of the animal they think they are. 6. Do you know that Santa has a special friend that travels with him? Krampus beats people with sticks, especially females. Above is a picture of him. Krampus is a story used for centuries to frighten children into behaving before Christmas. 7. A surprising number of people believe in the ancient astronaut theory, in which aliens are said to have come to Earth in prehistory and provided man with knowledge, or, in some cases, bred with man to provide intelligence. 8. In 1726, Mary Toft, an Englishwoman from Godalming, Surrey, fooled doctors into believing she had given birth to rabbits by tricking them into believing she gave birth to them. According to contemporary reports, male midwife John Howard delivered 3 legs of a cat of a tabby color, and 1 leg of a rabbit. The guts were as a cat's and in them were 3 pieces of the backbone of an eel. The cat's feet supposed were formed in her imagination from a cat she was fond of that slept on the bed at night. Later Toft seemingly became ill again, and during the next few days delivered more pieces of rabbit. Her deception was eventually uncovered and both she and the medical profession were ridiculed. 9. Hyperthymesia is a condition, found only in 4 humans so far, that causes a person to recall almost everything that has happened to them. When asked a date, a hyperthymestic can recall the events of that day, what the weather was like, and other seemingly trivial details that would be impossible for most people to recall. 10. Intrusive R and linking R are pronunciations of the letter R in English dialects which don't pronounce a final R, such as New Zealand English. When saying, "don't go far" in these dialects, the word far has a silent R but the R is pronounced when saying, "he is far away." The linking R smooths out the phrase. The invasive R is when there is no R present, as in the case of Africa or England. This would be pronounced Africa or England. 11. Zebroids are hybrids between zebras and donkeys or horses. Zebrids look like their non-zebra parents but are striped like zebras. The stripes usually do not cover the entire body, and they might be confined to the legs or spread to parts of the body or neck. There are many names for hybrids, such as Zorse, Zonky, Zebras, Zedonk, pictured above, etc. 12. Crikey Steve Irwini, an air-breathing land snail, is the only species of the genus Crikey. Steve Irwini is named after wildlife expert Steve Irwin. A favorite exclamation of Steve Irwin's is, "Crikey," is an Australian minced oath. 13. Shing a village, Japan, claims that Jesus was buried in the tomb of Jesus. According to local legend, Jesus traveled to Japan at 21 years old, where he studied theology for 12 years, then returned to Judea at age 34. At Golgotha, he did not die. He instead fled to Mutsu province, in northern Japan, where he became a rice farmer, married, and raised a family near what is now Qing. 14. The Swedish Empire, which included Finland at the time, planned to move from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar by omitting leap days for the next 40 years. Even though the leap day was not observed in February 1700, the Great Northern War began later that year, so the Swedes did not omit leap days on the following two occasions, making 1704 and 1708 leap years. When the Julian calendar was restored in 1712, one extra leap day was added, which gave that year a 30th of February. 15. Our final entry is a sentence, but it is a special sentence. In addition to the famous "Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo" sentence, here is another. John, while James had a better effect on the teacher. This is a completely legitimate English sentence. Let me challenge you to put in the correct punctuation to make it understandable. Also, I challenge you not to look it up. Thanks for watching the video. Do share and subscribe to get updated.